You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us. But it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hiya, pal.
Hi, Fran.
I feel like, the pal part is like very Disney, like, hiya, pal. But we're going to talk Universal today, so maybe that's not fitting.
No, it's not. I don't know. That's still not Universal anymore.
But
yeah,
then,
it's not fitting.
If I'm going to do Universal, so then what I could do is, let's go. That's that was my best Mario impression.
I like it. Let's go.
Let's go. How's it going?
Good. I love Mario.
Was that your best Princess Peach impression?
I don't even know who Princess Peach is. This is the thing. When I was at Epic and in a Nintendo Land, I kept telling people when I played Mario, I don't even think Luigi existed. And then people were like, well, was he the second player back in the old days? And I'm like, maybe, but I probably played by myself. So I never knew that there was a green second player. Like, I just played the red guy who was Mario. Back in, there was no Princess Peach. You didn't know that the dragon and whatever, the little guy in the sky was named Yoshi. You didn't know that the turtle was a toad. You didn't know any of that stuff. Those guys were in the little screen that I was playing, but they had no names. You just knew Mario, and he was super. And you had a lot of fun.
Oh my god!
So I just gotta put it out there.
Okay, so this is the preface for our conversation today, and what Carrie knows about Nintendo Land. Nothing. So, a couple weeks ago on the podcast, you heard us talking about how we kind of came together at the end of my solo trip. Carrie and I met up, and we were both at Universal. So we don't talk about it a lot, but we both work for travel agencies who are preferred partners of Universal. And we were invited to basically a conference that included the opening of Epic Universe. So we got to tell you about it. We got to tell you about our thoughts on Epic Universe and the grand opening, which was, in fact, epic. So we were staying at Universal's Aventura Hotel.
Yeah.
Now, have you stayed there before, Carrie? I have, no. And I quite enjoyed it. I liked the hotel.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I've never stayed there.
It's a little more like they have, I want to say they call it high tech because it's like an iPad that controls your TV, your lights, all of those kind of things, which is nice.
I didn't use it once. The only time I used it was when when I come back in the room and the TV was on, I couldn't find the converter. So finally I went to the iPad and I realized that's how you turn the TV off with the iPad. So I touched the iPad twice to turn my TV off twice.
Oh my gosh. And that's it?
Else with it. That's it.
The temperature was there, the lights, nothing?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing.
Okay.
You could just pull the blinds. I didn't even think of it. But anyways, high tech. Yay.
High tech for sure. So our first night, they had a welcome dinner for us at the Piazza at Portofino Bay.
Portofino.
And that was lovely. Nice dinner, but it was hot. Again, it was hard to eat because it was so flippin' hot. But the first full day that we had was we had breakfast, and then we were put into little groups and taken to Epic Universe. And we were, I think they said there were 300 of us, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically, so this was the day before the official opening. And we were in there with basically media. So they had like ABC News, like all of those different people were set up around the parks doing interviews and stuff. And we were being guided through with people in small groups to go and see the lands. And you and I lucked out. We were in the same group.
I think like they had partners and like people like more like on the celebrity spectrum there, because they kind of said to us that if we saw somebody, we weren't allowed to approach them. We weren't allowed to take pictures or do anything because they had promised them that they would be able to have a day in the park with their
Right.
families without
Any
any risk.
fanfare
I don't
kind
know what
of.
the word
Yeah.
is. Yeah, like
Yeah.
a safe, like in a safe space. Like it was going to be a safe space for them
Enjoy.
to move about and enjoy the park with their family.
I didn't see, so that day when we were in there, I don't think I saw anybody during the day.
I saw, well, we that was, I'm trying to think of which day.
At night I saw them. So during the day when we were in there exploring,
We
there was a
didn't
lot
see.
less people. But later on that night they had a blue carpet and they had hundreds of like lots and lots and lots of
Right.
people. And it was there that I saw the stars. I didn't see anybody during the day.
I think during the day I think I saw the Super Nintendo people from Japan
Oh, right,
because
right,
they
right.
when we were going in they were behind us and there was like lots of people and guides and it was like an entourage that was kind of moving in like a whatever. I think we saw them, but I wouldn't know who they were by like and be fangirling about it. But I think we
Right.
saw them. But I'm
So
sure they were there.
it was a pretty good opportunity. Like we got to go into the lands when there were very limited people in them. Um,
I would say not I would say the park was empty. Like it
it
was
was.
empty.
It was
Like
really empty.
empty.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we managed to go in and get pictures with very few people in them, if
Yeah.
any. So we got to do pretty much during that day. I don't know if I got to do all the lands. I didn't make it into Monsters or a
Hmm.
Dark Universe during the day because it was so, it was, they had media in there at the time when I got over there to go see it. But the other lands, absolutely. So let's go through them. So Super Nintendo, Carrie,
I really like I
thoughts?
love it because it's like I've been to the one in Hollywood and I this one has like it's multi-leveled, which in a different way. Like there is sort of a multi-level in Hollywood, like a balcony area you can go up on, but I like that it's multi-leveled and I really like the Donkey Kong ride. Like I what was it called? Minecart Madness,
Mine,
is that what it's
I
called?
think
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
I really, really like that ride. It's probably one of my favorite rides at the probably no one. If you surveyed every single person that went to Epic between this previous party, nobody's gonna say it's a ride. But I kind of think it's my favorite ride there because it's just right for me. But I really like how big it is, and I think all the stuff that you can do with the band is fun. Like maybe you wouldn't do it on your first trip because you want to go on the rides and there's so much to see in Epic, but I think if you're a multiple time going into the park, like collecting all the badges and the coins, like it's once you open the app and see what you can do, there's like way more like it's trips upon trips upon trips of stuff to do if you wanted to. Like
Right.
if that was your thing. So I think that's probably the part I like most about it and the Donkey Kong ride. I the Mario Kart ride is like I bet you like from what I understand, like people that play the Mario Kart go on the ride and it's really hard to like get all the points and do stuff. So like when I ride it, it's like a disaster. So I think it's just something you have like any video game, you have to like ride it, I guess, to get better at it. Whereas that's not my type of I don't want to work hard to learn how to ride a ride. I just want to ride the ride and have fun. But yeah, what did you think? You're a Mario fan. This is Mario. Did you like the? You got to see
Oh,
Mario. You got to see
yeah.
them in the flesh as Princess Peach, who wears a pink dress.
Yeah, she's like the princess that he's trying to save, like in the whole game. Like, yeah, it's
She didn't have a name. She didn't have. When did what year? She didn't have a name back in 1985.
well, I feel like she might have. Yeah, like for me, so I didn't actually see Mario and Luigi. I was a little disappointed in that because I really would have liked to have met them. Um, but I did like I found it almost overwhelming. There was so much in there for a Mario fan. Like I was just like I didn't even know where to look. Like I didn't even know where to look. Like seeing the Toad and Yoshi and all of that and hearing the sounds. Like it was, for me, it was the sounds. Like I had goosebumps going on that escalator and it was making the
Oh,
noise that happened when you went in the tunnels. Like it just, the details they had in there were incredible. Like absolutely incredible. Now, my whole time in Epic Universe, I did not go on a single ride for two reasons. One, the heat, I already felt nauseous. And two, I because we were on such a set schedule with the event that we were on, I didn't want to make myself sick and then have to ruin or not be able to participate in later events. So I decided this trip I
for
was
sure.
just going to enjoy like wandering and merch and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll go back by myself and when it won't matter, right?
When it's
Like
cooler.
yeah, when it's cooler, and if I get sick, I get sick. But seriously, like Nintendo, that was just it was beyond anything I could have imagined as a fan of Super Mario. Like it was
That's
just
cool. The merch game is
perfect.
awesome too. Like the merch is awesome there.
They did a really good job with Epic merch. Like all of it. I'm talking for every
Mhm.
land.
Oh, for sure.
Their merch was off the charts. They had such cool stuff. I did get so my friend did buy me ears. So I have the ears, with the little red guy and the little green toad. I have those.
They're
They're
yeah, the
yeah,
toads.
the toads.
Stools. Because they're
Yeah.
mushrooms.
So
Toadstools.
toadstools or mushrooms, whatever.
Well, that's what
But
a toadstool is, a mushroom. I thought that's why they're
yeah,
called
I
he's
think
called
that's what
toad.
yeah, so did they
Now,
call
are
them
they all
toads or do they call them
all
mushrooms?
called toads, or is it just the one guy that's toad?
I think it's just the one I remember when we used to play it and I used to call him Toady.
Isn't
I
one
don't
guy a
know.
Goomba? Something Goomba,
The
Goomba,
Goomba,
Goomba.
yeah. I can't even remember. Andrew's
Do
probably,
do 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 do.
oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's so fun.
That's when
Yes.
things go bad and you have to run. You're running out of time. Do 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 do.
I know. And then, you
Does it
wonder
still
why our
sound the same? And
generation,
then, yeah,
yeah, it still sounds the same. I still play the
okay.
game. But you wonder why our generation has so much anxiety. Like there were time limits on these games. Like if
Duration,
you had
perfection.
you had three lives and when you died and had to start all over again. Like that
Yeah.
was it. So yeah, it's kind of funny. But so that land, I love that you had to walk through the portals. They did a really good job here that you can't see the other lands from inside of one, which was
Yeah, it's really
phenomenal.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was phenomenal. What did you think of the Harry Potter? What is it called there? Ministry of Magic is the
Yeah, the
ride.
Ministry of Magic. I really liked it. Like I find probably that's the land. Like I did spend quite a bit of time in that land, but I think that's the land I probably didn't really let it sink in too much. Like it's because it was busier too. Like
Yeah.
I think by far when we were in there, especially for the opening night, like it was very busy. So I felt like I didn't get a chance to really like look at everything and take it all in, but I think it's pretty incredible like how big it feels like I've never been to Paris, but I would expect that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I thought
So,
it was beautiful. Like I'm not a Harry Potter person, and that stuff was from like later, I only watched like the first two or three movies. So these like that is all themed after like movie 4 or 5 or something. So it didn't
because
even have
it's the
anything to do with the movies that I'd seen.
and the show that they have, which like the show was really awesome. Like I think it's just like totally different, right? Like not what we're used to from others, what we see at other
Yeah,
theme parks. Like that the show is based on the Fantastic Beasts movie, so you need to see
right.
the Fantastic Beasts, and then yeah, the later Harry Potter. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't go on like I got to go on over my time. I got to go on like almost everything that I wanted to, but I didn't get on the Ministry of Magic, and that's the one thing like everybody that loves Epic is like that's the thing that should have been a priority, but my
Right.
time there, like it was just like by the time I had the opportunity at the opening night, like I could have went on it. It was a 2 hour wait. So I kind of had to wait like at the end of a long hot day. Do I
Yeah.
want to go on a ride that might make me feel yucky? Although I have a feeling it's going to be okay from what I understand. But then do I want to spend like we only had from 7 o'clock till 10
10
o'clock
o'clock.
to
Yeah.
have the opening party, and did I want to spend 2 hours of it waiting in line? So I decided not to do it. Do I have a little bit of regret? I don't think so, because I didn't really want to miss the opening party. Like, that was
Yeah.
whatever. But from what I understand, it's like the best
It's
thing in
the
the park.
best. Well, and that queue, so we did get to go in and do the queue, like to
Yeah.
go in and see the lot. Like when you walk inside, that building is huge, like
Yeah. So when you walk in, you
huge.
walk through like the flue. So you walk through like, and the green smoke comes, and it's like you're
Yes,
magically going through the flue. And then like that's impressive. But when you walk into the room and you're in like the main area of the Ministry of Magic, it is like jaw dropping.
it's
Jaw
overwhelming.
dropping.
You don't even have to see the movie. You don't even have to know who these people are to be
Yeah.
absolutely floored at what it feels like to be in there.
And because the ride was like down for main, like for whatever they're doing before, like they allowed people when the ride was down to walk through the queue, and like it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's just like any, like which, like when you go through the queue in the castle, the Harry Potter castle, like how much detail and care is taken. It's the same thing for that queue. So like if you have to wait in line for a couple of hours, like the queue is amazing and will keep you occupied. And but the ride, from what I understand, makes it worth it. Like if you had to wait 2 hours, sort of like there's a number of
yeah.
attractions we feel that way, right? Like if you have to wait 2 hours, it's worth it in the end, and that's what it sounds like. It's far worth waiting for the
Oh
waiting for that
yeah.
ride. So,
And
but yeah, we had butterbeer crepes. I had the butterbeer crepe.
yeah,
Um, and it, like, I don't like butterbeer very much, or I don't really give it a chance. And it tasted good. And we ate lunch there one day, and when I was there, and it was pretty good, but very very popular. People love Harry
oh
Potter.
yeah. It was,
Like,
and they did it's big enough. Like, I feel like the other Harry Potter lands in the other two parks are a bit small, like almost like they didn't recognize how many people would spend so much time in them. And I feel
yeah,
like this one they made big enough to accommodate how many people are actually going to spend time in those lands, just wandering in the stores and the buildings, and like even the
yeah.
bathrooms are well themed in Epic Universe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wonder, like, even if it was a little bit harder for me to explore, because the other two parks, like their Harry Potter areas, like they do seem to have lots of nooks and crannies, and the alleyways are smaller, so like you feel like you have to go in a path to find stuff, whereas this is like a big
Right.
wide Paris street that allows a lot of people. And then like
Yes.
when I went in and I looked and peeked in some of the stuff, and then like I just sat on a park bench and like looked at things, right? Like I
I
looked up and
know.
looked at the signs and kind of sat there and just watched people, versus like really looking at all the details. And I'm sure there's a million details I wouldn't understand, but or
Yeah, they
understand the
were
references. But
amazing.
I think the vibe is definitely different in that one than the other Harry
Oh,
Potter
for sure.
areas.
For sure.
So,
They had, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely stunning to see. Um, and yeah, like all throughout Epic, the bathrooms are totally themed to the land, which was awesome because we love a good bathroom. Um,
but the Harry
yeah,
Potter ones, I told, like, when I told you to go in those ones for sure and go into the ones in Dark Universe. But the Harry Potter, like, it's like they have like the toilet basins, or the bowls, not the bowls. What are they called? The, like, where
like
you flush, where the, what's it
yeah,
called?
like I think it's the bowl, not the bowl, the tank, like the
The
tank
tank.
part.
Like they're
Yeah.
way up in the sky, like as they would have been
Yes.
like up high, like where you pull the lever or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
it was awesome.
like,
When
that's
we
something they
were
didn't have to do. A detail that no one would have otherwise been like, those bathrooms
exactly
are not representative of the era of
of the era
1920s
that it
Paris.
was. When we were in the Harry Potter land during the day, Carrie, that's when we happened to see Mr. Tony Baxter. And we did not make a big fuss, but he was
Because we
there with
weren't
a,
supposed to.
and we're probably, you know what, I should have asked someone who it was, but it's some big basketball player. These are the same ones I think we saw at the Tiana opening. They're like they're big, tall guys. They're apparently Disney big fans, and I guess now also Universal big fans. But he was there
And
with
pals
Tony
with Tony
Baxter.
Baxter.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to see Tony Baxter wandering around. So for those that don't know, he's an Imagineer who retired from Disney. He retired a few years ago, I guess. But that's
Hmm.
twice we've been like very close to him. So we saw him there, and then we saw him once in line at the expo. He was like 10 people or 15 people ahead of us at the expo, and we were pretty excited about that.
Funny.
Yeah.
Seeing someone, seeing him in line.
We were so excited. Next, Carrie, How to Train Your
Yep.
Dragon.
I think that's like, well, I don't know. I think that's like the sleeper for
Like
people.
nobody expects it to be that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I was blown away when I walked in there. I've only seen the first movie, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they totally did this justice."
I think that like if if you had kids that like grew up with that movie,
Oh yeah.
like I think they'd go bananas in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like think about how impressive the detail is for us that don't know the movie or barely know the movie. It
Yeah.
would be just like it would be a dream come true. Like all like and maybe it's more noticeable because like we know what to expect from Mario. We know what it's gonna look like, and we know what Paris looks like. But like I had no idea with the reference what How to Train Your Dragon was gonna look like, and
Right.
all the details. Like, and I'm sure there's that same level of details in all the parks, but they just stand out more there. Like all of the
Yeah.
carvings and all the dragon references and all the little things and the characters they have out and about. Like it just seems like to such a degree of detail
Oh
that
yeah.
I would have expected or imagined.
I
And
know. It was
like,
amazing.
or maybe like a big fan walks in and is like, good, they did this right. It's a good thing they did all that stuff because that's the way that it's supposed to look. But to me, I was like, holy smokes. Like,
Yeah. Now, did you
it's,
we went and met Toothless and Hiccup.
yeah. I didn't, his Hiccup the little baby or Toothless is the big dragon?
Hiccup's the boy and
Oh,
Toothless is
that's
the
the
big
boy.
dragon. Oh my
What's the
goodness.
little babies called? All I keep
I
seeing is
can't
people talk
remember.
about the little babies.
I know we didn't get to see the babies.
So Hiccup is the boy in the movie and Toothless is the dragon. Yes, we met both of those
Right.
guys.
We did. We met them and it was a pretty cool meet and greet. Like I
Hmm.
gotta say that dragon, like Toothless moves like you would expect in the movie.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not a person inside,
It's a robot type of thing.
but
Is it?
it moves not like a robot,
Yeah.
which was so impressive. Like that was impressive.
And
Um
I think that he's probably going to be one of the most popular things in the park. And
yeah.
then those little baby robot dragons come out and the crowd goes wild. Like it's probably
Yes.
more people want to see the cute little babies than they want to see the Papa Dragon or whatever he
Yes.
is. And
Yes.
I think in that land, like I think that roller coaster that they have, the whatever the roller coaster,
Dueling
the wind.
Dragons, isn't it? Or
No,
no?
no, that's no.
No,
It's like
that's the other one. The
the Hiccups wing gliders or
that's
whatever.
it.
Or, is
Yes.
that it? Whatever the roller coaster is there, I think that mm, is very, very popular, and I think people are surprised with how fun it is, and I think that's even e- making that part of the park more popular. Like it might be
Yeah.
like a second favorite, like a favorite ride. Like it's
Hmm.
probably going to be a favorite coaster for the people that aren't into the big one up the front, right? Like
Right.
so, I think it's going to be a huge draw. Like so people that will want to go in for the coaster, even if they don't really know anything about
Oh yeah.
the dragon. So I think that was a bit
Absolutely.
of a surprise how much fun that coaster is. So it's a good their merch is fun too. Like I don't even know like, am I gonna buy it because I don't really know. It's not relevant to me. And maybe I'll buy it after I watch the movies. But like the merch in there is fun too. Like all this Viking hat,
Yeah, I
funny dragon thingamajiggies and stuffies and like
if I'm honest, Carrie, like I didn't expect to love the park outside. Like I knew I'd like the Nintendo. I because you know what, quite honestly, they could have done anything and I would have loved it because it's so nostalgic for me. But the other parts of the park I have no emotional connection to. So I really didn't expect that I would like the rest of the park. And I was shocked at how much I loved it.
Like, would you say, like, for me, my first knee-jerk reaction was like, and I think I kind of felt this way at the end too. Like, I don't think I could choose which my favorite is.
Of the
Like,
four
and
portals. Yeah.
is it because of like because I don't have a significant tie to
Yeah.
any of them? Like, I'm standing back and I'm just looking at them and seeing like so much good in all of it. Like everything
I know.
is is awesome. Like every single one has so amazing. Like I don't think that if I made a list, I could one would surpass them unless we were
Surpass.
going to say, okay, the
Yeah.
Ministry of Magic is the best ride ever or the best
Right.
ride in all the parks. Like that's one thing, but like talking about like how it made me feel, like the theming, the merch, like the way that it was laid out, like the detail, like I don't think I could choose. And people ask like what was your favorite, and I don't have an answer. Like other than the Donkey Kong ride, I can't say like I can't pick one of those lands or another.
No.
Like it's like picking your
No.
favorite cat. It's impossible at this point. Like I need more time. I need more
Yeah.
exposure to this stuff. Maybe I need to watch all the movies to and play a little bit of Mario Kart. Like I think to expose myself to the to get like
Yes.
an emotional tie to
Yeah.
it in order to kind of pick a favorite because I think they were all done like very well. Anyways,
They were.
do you have a favorite? Like, do you think is Mario your favorite just
So
because
I
you
love
have
Mario just because I have that tie to it, but I also found that Mario was a bit overstimulating for me. Like
mm,
it literally, there was so much going on that it's a very different feeling than the other lands that felt more like I found like How to Train Your Dragon was just a little more like I don't want to say peaceful, but just more relaxing to me. Do you know what I mean?
well, I kind of wonder like with like I've seen the Mario Nintendo land busy in Hollywood and it's busy, 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 busy. Like
Right.
so and that's a bigger land with more people and more sounds and more everything.
Yeah.
Like I would think like in the busiest time, like I think the Isle of Burke is gonna be like going to the spa. It's gonna be like a Zen zone.
Because it's so big. Like there's so much space there. And we
And
haven't even talked about Dark
there's not
Universe.
bing 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 bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
This weird whole day in Mario Land, and like in Burke, like sit in the corner and meditate, and you wouldn't be interrupted in comparison. So, yeah,
Yeah.
our friend Jen, when we were talking to her about about that about like this like how it would be, it could be a lot for some kids, like being
Yeah.
in the Mario Land, like with all the lights and the brights and the sounds and the people, and then imagine if you loved it too, right? Like you're looking forward to it, you're excited, you love the brand, you love whatever, like that alone is probably enough excitement
Yeah.
for somebody. And then you're in there and it's just like you can't escape it.
You
And then
can't
you got to
escape.
find a way.
There's so many sounds and so many tunnels and yeah, like it's amazing. It's amazing. For sure. Now, what did you think of Dark Universe?
Oh, I really liked it. Like it can't be any more opposite than any than the other ones. But
Right.
were
The
you skeptical of it? Like knowing it was coming? Like were you like how on earth when it's like bright blue skies and hot as heck and
yes.
most of the year doesn't get dark till 10 o'clock at night in the summertime. How are they going to pull off something that's supposed to look like spooky?
It was. It was
It
spooky.
was in the middle of the day. It was kind of like, oh, I get this because they have misters going and you and grave tombstones and yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I don't like spooky stuff, but I appreciated the detail in here, and I was very happy. Like nobody jumps out at you, none of that stuff happens.
No.
It's literally just you walk at your own pace, and you can, But their merchandise was great too.
Yeah. You know what I found when I was thinking a couple minutes back when we were first started talking about the Mario merch is like the one thing I like right now is that like the store like they have a couple stores at the front of the Celestial Park like when you're leaving like big flagship stores,
Yes.
but there's not enough room for all the merch for like four lands in those two stores. So like when you're
Yeah.
actually in the land and in the feet like when you come out of the Monsters Unchained ride, that gift shop is the bomb. right? Like it's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
It's got all kinds of stuff. The Mario gift shops seem to have, they seem like, maybe not, but they seem like when you're in the lands, like you're getting that shopping experience that we always say we miss. Like, we always just see everything everywhere and you get so
Yes.
sick of stuff. But it seems like right now in those lands, you actually like get to do like specific shopping. Like if you didn't buy it, you're gonna have to walk back to that land and get it like the good
Yes,
old
it's not,
days.
you're not going to find it in a random gift shop somewhere. Yeah.
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 And they have like, I don't, did you see the Invisible Man? Like they have in Dark Universe, they have like two rides, a werewolf ride, and they have the Monsters Unchained, and it's just spooky, right?
Yeah.
Generally. But when you go in at certain times of the day, they have the Invisible Man. So he's wrapped up in band-aids and like he really interacts with people and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then they got Igor and he's like crazy, he's fun. And then they have like the Frankenstein and the Bride of
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster and the bride.
Yeah.
Anyways, like talk about like totally like different types of experiences.
Yeah. And the bathroom in Dark Universe is black. Like it's all black. The bathrooms are spooky.
Like I remember them like as black with like just like spotlighting too. Like it's not like they're just like
Oh
you walk
yeah.
in and there's regular lightings. Like the toilets, the walls, the
Yeah.
stalls, the
I
floor,
took a
everything
picture.
is
There
like
was
black
nobody in the
tile.
bathroom when I was in there, so I took a picture. But yeah, like it was
And then there's
pretty
spotlighting to make it spooky.
crazy. It was
You know what I like
crazy,
too about the
Carrie.
bathrooms, which I pay like they do this at Disneyland, is like all the bathroom signs are all themed.
Themed.
Like they
Yeah.
like so
Like it was
they
a
look
little
like a
Frankenstein.
werewolf and
Yeah.
Frankenstein or like Frankenstein's the bride and whatever. Like they all have like caricatures that
It
they've
was
drawn
pretty
for
cool.
all the bathrooms, which I kind of like that little bit of detail. But yeah, I don't think it was too spooky, and that's what they said all along. It was not. It's gonna
It,
be.
it wasn't
It's
bad during the
spooky, but it's
day.
not scary.
It's yeah. Yeah. So I'll say so we got to do that during the day and then they gave us a few hours break in the afternoon, I think, and then we went back for the grand opening celebration, so we could see, technically we could see all the lands at night if we wanted. So we went back and we walked what they called the blue carpet. So they had basically, this was the night, like they had everybody there. Like that was a busy night, right? Like there were
Yeah.
lots of people there. You and I did not recognize the guy that did the music for Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice. What was his name? I don't know.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare
Like
Before Christmas.
he's the voice of
But
Jack
our friend
Skellington.
was like flipping out because she was like fangirling over him. So this was the night where like they had stars there, they had everything. Like
All the influencers there. So like this
yeah.
was Wednesday. On Tuesday was our day, like the travel industry, and they were still filming stuff in some industry, whoever's were there. And then on the Monday was the social media day. So I
Right.
think like they were in on Monday and had their fun. Then I don't know what they did with them on Tuesday, but we were in there Tuesday. And then Wednesday it was like everybody from all the groups was there. It was
Yes.
lots and lots
It
of
was
people.
lots of people. So we walked the blue carpet and then we got in and basically it was like the opening event. So they had food and drinks everywhere. So like this was pretty spectacular. We were very lucky. Like when else can you say that you were there for the opening of a brand new theme park
Mm-mm.
and that you were in there, while they had big buffets lined up and like they were serving food in each of the lands from the lands. They had
That part was
open bars. They had like it was insane. It was insane. That croissant I had in Harry Potter, like, it was so good.
the food they had in the Ministry of Magic area was like ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
Like
you
the thing that
messaged me and said they have croissants over here. I was like, I'm
yeah,
coming.
and we had like I had the butterbeer crepe again. They had all kinds of like they were putting out food that they're like showcasing, and I guess maybe in that land like they don't have the room to have people go to the actual spot, so or go into so they brought it all out and they had this food
Yeah.
like like it looked like a catered party. But in other parts of the land, other lands, portals, like you just walked in and you ordered whatever, like or Like they have those mac and cheese cones in Isle of Burke. You just walked up to the mac and cheese place and they handed you over one.
It was
Like, and I
crazy.
was like, they could have probably just did like a little spread table at
Hmm.
each land, and it would have been
And it
like
would have
out of
been
this world.
fine.
Over in Super Mario, you went in the Toadstool Cafe, and they had tables of burgers. Like, I just tried to eat one of those mac and cheese cones, like there's no way I'm eating a whole burger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like they could have done like half of whatever for the food, and I think
Oh
we would have
yeah.
been like, that was impressive. But I guess they want everybody trying everything. And but we had
Yeah.
like we had the earlier in the day, the media, the bloggers had the days before, like they
Yeah.
yeah, it
And it
was
was
the
free
one.
water everywhere. I drank so much water that
They
night.
had lots of water, lots of booze. We got
Yeah.
I got one of the epic Coca-Cola bottles. They were just giving
Yeah.
them away. Like they could have made us pay for them, but they didn't. And the one thing that I'm never probably gonna forget is over in the Dark Universe, they had like kind of like the Paris or Ministry of Magic here. They had like tables and buffets, and all the food looked like weird. They had lights on it, and you
Yeah.
didn't look like you were picking up brains or blood or whatever. But they had like a barbecue area, and like no joke, they were barbecuing like tomahawk steaks.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
It was crazy.
like these steaks look like they look like they were from the Flintstones, like
Yeah, it
Brontosaurus
was
burgers or whatever steaks, and they had a grill like just covered, and some dude was flipping tomahawk steaks, and they were taking them off and slicing
it
them
was
for
insane.
people to have pieces of steak. It was pretty
It
funny
was
that.
crazy. It was a little spookier at night, I got to admit,
Oh yeah.
but they had, there were so many people in there at that time that, I was definitely okay with that.
Like at
But
nighttime, that building, like the building that the big ride is in, like it's like almost like light, like there's like a power surge and like lightning's
yeah.
gonna strike. And then what's the thing with the windmill? The
Oh
burning
yeah, and then that sets on fire and yeah, that was it.
Burning Blade Tavern. It's got a windmill and it starts on fire. But the one thing, but like I did go in there like the during the day, like towards the end of the day, and to try to cool off. And I sat there for a while, and then when I was walking back to our bus, like I was barely out of the portal. And I was like overheated, and that's where you're like, holy smokes, like you said, like it doesn't,
Yeah.
you need a lot longer to cool off or whatever. But they have this, I didn't eat it. I just saw other people eat it. But they have like a garlic stick that's like a dagger. Did you
Oh
see it on
yeah,
social
I
media?
didn't see it.
And I think like I know some people that got it and ate it, but like it's like so much, it's like like because garlic kills a vampire. Well, I guess they
Right.
have so much garlic on it, like it almost kills you. Like you taste its garlic for like 4 days afterwards. But it's a really cool photo. But it's
Oh
like a
my
braided,
gosh.
almost like a braided like a big piece of bread, but braided, and then like there's apparently so much garlic on it is like you're sweating
They've
garlic. That's how much
they've
garlic
done
is on it.
like even all the food and stuff. They did such an amazing job. But that
Yeah.
night when we were there was when we did get to see some stars. So did you see? So we saw the guy that did the music for Nightmare Before
Danny
Christmas.
Elfman is his name.
That's his
Danny
name.
Elfman.
Yeah. I saw Howie Mandel.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
see him.
and then I saw Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, he was probably the
He,
hottest in many ways.
oh yes,
The
yes,
hottest
yes.
star that we
I
saw.
didn't realize how big he is until I saw him walking down. He was in like I was sitting in the French cafe in the Harry Potter section, and he walked by. But
I don't
it
think like
was
he's so big. Like if you saw him, like you would see him again because he's so big. Like I don't think
yeah,
there's a way that he could walk by anybody and not get noticed.
and not get noticed. Yeah, it was
Besides the
kind
fact
of
that he had a bit of an entourage or whatever, but he's like a behemoth of a man. He's
yeah. Oh
huge,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
huge.
that night, like after we wandered around, we ate, we drank, we were merry, blah, 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 you messaged me and said, I have a seat. And I came to meet you, and you had seats around the middle in Celestial Park for the grand opening celebration.
Yeah. For that celebration, like I think in my head when the day started, I knew that they were going to do fireworks and have like so Celestial Park has like fountains everywhere, like all through
Yeah.
from the one side to the other, and they're not connected, but they have bodies of water with the fountains and the lights and all that stuff. So I kind of thought at the start of the day that at the end of the night we were just gonna kind of like stand out in Celestial Park and we'd see the magic
Yeah.
happen all around us or whatever. But when we went out that way, like they have like this like tiered grassy area that you sit around the main big water feature. And
Right.
that's what they had seating for us. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. I guess we kind of are VIP that they wouldn't just make us. But until we walked up and I saw and they were like, oh, you're this credentials, like this is your area. Like I was kind of surprised, like because I really thought we would just be standing around. And then
That's
I
what
was
I
like, oh,
thought.
we're kind of special. We got our own little spot here. So then we went and found a seat and then I saved a seat for you because I saw it getting I knew it was going to get very, very busy.
It
So
was. So thank you very much for that. Because Carrie, like that was the opening of all openings.
yeah. It's something we will never probably see anything like that ever again. Like that
Never.
was incredible.
It was like they had basically the fountain show, they had and then fireworks. And I
And
always say
drones.
nobody does fireworks like Disney does fireworks. Well, Universal said hold my beer. Like this seriously, that now it's not something they're doing every night. They were very clear to say that. It's not going to happen every night. That was
Yeah,
their
I don't think
grand
it's
opening.
happening ever again.
Yeah. That was their grand opening celebration. But with the fireworks and the drones, I was taking video and all you can hear on my video is me going, "Oh my God." Like I couldn't even shut my mouth because I was astonished at what I was
Yeah.
seeing. It was quite a celebration.
Yeah, they had fireworks like the main were coming from behind the big hotel Helios, but like there was fireworks, which would have been if we weren't in those spaces. But I kept looking around. There was fireworks all around the perimeter, so they had
Yeah,
fireworks going everywhere, and then the fireworks from behind the hotel were like
it was insane. And they were
unbelievable.
everywhere you looked, there were fireworks and it was such a celebration. I'm just, we're so lucky that we got to be there for it. We really are. It was
And
amazing.
we also the one thing that I'll never forget too is that we were like it's right by this dancing water type fountain, like,
Yes.
and there's like five levels, and we got us like when we got there it was very like sparse when we got there, like the people sitting, but people everywhere, like lots of spaces, but like there was people in every little spot and everywhere. So we just picked like the second row and say there's like four or five rows. Like I kind of assumed at the beginning that we were going to get a little wet because like I've been to you know what it's like when you're up
Yeah.
front at Phantasmic or paint or World of Color, like you get a little wet. Well, we were on the second level and at first it started and it was a little sprinkly like you'd expect, but when the show got going, like what I think they do is they have songs they play throughout the day, but for the spectacular they showed, I think they played all the songs together and the fireworks was the culmination at the end of it, right? So at the
Yes.
beginning it was like la 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 la, but then once it got going and those friggin' spouts went, well, at first there was the like we were on the second row, I think, or even if we were the third row. Anyway, wherever we were in, there was someone like on the first row, like kind of like kitty corner to me, and it just looked all of a sudden like she got soaked, and I thought, oh my goodness, did Spouts go rogue and like hit her right in the face? Like all of a sudden, this lady looked kind of soaked. And I was kind of giggling, going, oh, that's kind of weird. Maybe that was a little blip or whatever. But then as the music got going, then the water kept going, and I guess the aftermath of all the, because if they play a song for like 2 minutes, there's mist and it goes away. But if they're doing song after song, that mist is building up. So probably like by halfway through, maybe just say, um, it was raining. It was misty. It was raining. It was the fireworks were going. It was like probably a week's worth of Magic Kingdom fireworks all in like in a couple minutes at
Yeah.
behind the thing, and we were hot all day long, hot all week, hot. You were hot for the last two weeks, and sitting there and having all that like. I would never, ever, ever want to be in a theme park and have that experience where like I got soaked from watching the nighttime spectacular, but that made that experience the best experience ever. Like it was so
Yep.
like emotional, like being there, having that experience, getting this special night, this special opportunity, getting to see fireworks like we'll never see it again, and like having that water hit us, like it just opened up the last realm of like emotions or whatever, right? Like the tactical, like we or whatever it is, like
Yes.
we literally could feel it, right? Is that
Yes.
right? Like, and we were just looking at each other, and we were just like in awe. Our jaws were open. We were like hooting and hollering. You're probably hearing me screaming. I was and like the rain and the water from the fountains like made it like the absolute best experience ever. Like that,
It was.
I don't think it would have been. I don't think it like it just took it to that out of the stratosphere experience. And
It
we
did.
looked like wet cats when it was done. We were
Yes.
like joyous. We were speechless. Like that's how awesome
Yeah.
that nighttime spectacular was. And that water just made it like the water was something else. Like
It just added so
when are
much.
me and you going to be ecstatic over getting soaked at the end of a night during a nighttime spectacular? Never, ever, 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 ever.
Yeah.
But it was probably the one of the most favorite parts of my day is
It
us
was.
feeling that
Well,
experience
because we were part of
literally.
the experience when we were getting,
Mm-hmm.
like, we were getting so, like, and I have a picture. We took a selfie right after, in front of the hotel, like, with us, and we're both drenched, but you can see the joy on our faces. Like, you can
It was
see how
awesome.
happy we are. Maybe I'll use that for the show art. Like, we look like drowned rats, but we're so happy because it was
Yeah.
such an amazing thing to see. It really
Worth
was.
all the sweat of the day and
Oh,
avoiding
100%.
evading heat stroke and trying. That's just
100%.
when it's so hot that and you're in a brand new theme park that's empty, that you have all to yourself. Every ride, every photo, anything you possibly could want to do is right there. But your
Yep.
number one priority is how to evade heat stroke.
Yes.
And then you have fun. And then the next part is trying to figure out how to have fun and do all the stuff on your list. But number one is how do I make it through to this evening to see those fireworks? It's your
Yeah,
number one priority. That's how hot it is, folks. We're not just
it
walking.
was. It was. And you know what, Carrie? I am just so grateful that I got to experience that with you because it
Me
was
too.
so much like we were laughing. Like it was one of those moments where the excitement was just like we both got it. We both had the same excitement. We were laughing, we were in awe, we were soaked, we were like all of
Yeah.
the emotions, every one of them.
Yeah.
Um
It was awesome.
it was a pretty cool experience. Yep.
Indeed.
So, but don't go to
Can we
Epic
talk?
thinking you're going to
We
see that like at night because you
Yeah.
won't.
Well, before I went to Florida, I wasn't watching any epic stuff at all. Like nothing, none of it.
Right.
And then I realized one after the night, I'm like, ooh, I can watch stuff now. So I was watching the people that went the very first day, which like people went on. Like I watched Justin Scarred, Random Land. He was there with a whole gang of California vloggers. They went on the Monsters Unchained like 6 times that day. In what
Wow.
world do you think that a brand new theme park is going to open and you're going to ride one of the most popular? They're all those like there's a handful of the rides that are going to be popular and people's favorites that you would ride it like 5 or 6 times. They didn't have a VIP guide or anything, but like
Right.
I think they're really trying their best to to make the experience enjoyable when
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are going at this time, which is completely awesome. Like
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. Like how thoughtful and awesome is that, and smart. I don't know, like because people aren't. I don't think people are saying like, oh, it's a horrible experience because there's 10 million bajillion people in the park. Like they're like, who would have thought that people would be going the first day and being like, wow,
Yeah. I know.
that was really really cool.
I think, I obviously I've spent time at Universal before. I've done Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, and you know what? And we've talked about it on the podcast. I enjoy the food. I like the theming, all that stuff. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that I am actually excited about Epic. Like,
Hmm.
meaning that it is a park that I would voluntarily and quite happily visit. The my problem is always logistics, just because it is outside of the Disney bubble and I spend most of my time in the Disney bubble, but I would happily go back and do a few days at Universal just to go to Epic.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I find for me, like right now in this time of year, which is not good because of the heat. I would like Universal because like the other original parks because they have the
Yes.
sensational water show and they have the parade and all that stuff.
Right.
So now having Epic there plus or a Christmas time going because of all the Christmas and Whoville stuff. Like, yeah, definitely for me makes it more of a like a place I would want to dedicate some time
Yeah.
to visit. But when I got on my tangent before about my YouTuber stuff, the reason what I was wanted to say when I first started was that the next day everybody was standing around the fountain waiting for fireworks. Did you hear
Oh,
that?
no, I
They
didn't hear
were.
that.
The
Oh,
opening night, people were waiting for fireworks. Like they went and left early to be there for when the park closes for fireworks, and it was
oops. And there was no
just
fireworks.
for the grand opening. Anyways,
So that was,
that's
yeah,
what
so
I.
that's even more special. Like we got to, it's a once in a lifetime that we got to experience, which is phenomenal. But I
Yeah,
would like to experience Epic in like January,
yeah, me too.
out of the heat when I don't have to worry about the heat and I can just go and really wander it without heat stroke would be fabulous.
Yeah,
That might be on the bucket to-do list for next January.
I like December because it's got the Grinch.
Oh, right,
There's
right.
Christmas
Well,
everywhere.
maybe we could go in December and check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, but I suspect there will be a little more universal stuff in some of our future trips for sure.
We didn't really talk about the Celestial Park that
Yeah, that's amazing. That's like
that's
the
like when you first
centerpiece with
walk
the
in.
fountains and the grass and the like.
There's the Stardust Racers, which is like the flagship roller coasters there, and they have the crazy the carousel.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
the
and
big
all the
restaurant. And
restaurants.
I ate at that fish restaurant, the big.
Yeah, I ate at one too, but not the fishy one. Yeah, you ate at Atlantic, and I ate at.
Yeah.
It's more like a pub. It's supposed to be like a meat and pub with the Oaken something.
Oh,
The
right,
one
right,
thing,
right.
my like, so it's got the big uh roller coasters, which is like the Velocicoaster type roller coasters, obviously the big draw for the roller coasters there. But like they have that out front, and my first reaction was like they have those like no matter what land you're in, if you're a roller coaster junkie, you're going to be leaving the lands to go get on that roller coaster once, twice,
Right.
however many times you possibly can. And then they have like all the food out there, like finer dining and the quick
Yeah.
service. It seems so smart like that people they force people to leave the land to go out and do awesome things. Like there's an awesome ride out there, there's
Yeah.
great dining out there. Like it just seemed to make a
It's
lot of
very
sense that
well laid out. Like it's
yeah.
very thoughtfully laid out. How
Well,
they've,
it seems that way. Like I guess time will
yeah,
tell if it all makes
I
sense
guess, yeah.
once they have lots of people in there regularly, but it seems at first glance like it really does.
It makes sense the way they've done it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see if the crowd flows and how
Well,
that works. And obviously the first few months of any new park and stuff, they're always tweaking things and they'll be paying attention to how the crowd flows and stuff like that. And we'll see.
mhm.
But I mean, first pass, it looks like they've laid it out perfectly. Yeah. Who would have thought we'd be so excited about a new Universal Park? That's
You
so
should,
awesome.
you should listen to our first epic episode and then listen to this one.
We should. I'm going to go back and listen to our first thoughts
Probably.
about it. I know.
I'm sure it was a disaster in a different way that this one was a disaster.
Probably. Well, because I don't think we knew much about what we were talking about anyway. So now,
Mm.
not that we ever really do, but yeah, I think we knew less.
I
Yeah.
think we're pretty good with Epic right now. I think we got a
I
good
think we're
grab
good.
on it and know
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
know and know
Hopefully
what we're
people
talking about.
found it helpful, I guess.
They should go. What's the moral of the story? You should go to Epic.
You should go
It's a
to
lot of
Epic.
fun.
Absolutely. Highly recommend.
Highly
2 thumbs
recommend. 10
up.
out, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
There you go. Okay, Carrie, we're at that part of the podcast where you share
Uh-huh.
what brought you some pixie dust this week. What brought you joy and made you happy?
Well, I already gave you a little hint about what my Pixie test was, so that I going to bring some Disneyland into this conversation because we were talking about other places.
That's
So
right.
I got this a couple like last fall or whatever. I got this Corksicle, which is the one that keeps it really, really cold. Disneyland 70th sippy cup. It's an adult sippy cup. It holds like 10 gallons of water and it has a straw. And I got it and it was for the 70th. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep that. And I'm not giving that to anybody. I'm keeping that. So I had it on my counter and I don't really like straws. Like I don't sippy
You're not
cup,
a
right?
straw
Like
drinker.
what do I want straw for? Like I like them generally and I don't really want a cup of the straw. Like I got to worry about cleaning the straw now. It's hard enough to clean the lids on these suckers, let alone now I got a straw to worry about. But the other day, I keep staring at it from my desk and I was like, well, it's the 70th now. It's kicked off. Like, I guess it's time for me to like start using this mug. I don't want to use it before because I didn't want to do any jinxies. So I thought I'll wait till the 70th starts and maybe I should be drinking from this. Well, this thing is corksicle. It keeps things cold. You put ice in it, it's going to be still icy later tomorrow morning, whatever. Guaranteed. I already love corksicle. But the straw. So
yes.
I first used it, washed it out, got some ice because I like things cold, got some ice, filled up my cup with water, and closed it up, and then just let it sit there. Then when I grabbed my cup to take a drink, all I could feel was not pixie dust, joy. The straw is metal. Have you ever drank from a metal straw before? Apparently, I haven't. No. So this sucker's got ice in it and cold water. And when you sip the water with all of those ingredients in the inside, cold ingredients, the water is like so chilly as you drink it. Like it's another level. Like it's so
like it
cold,
pluses it.
Cold. Like the straw's cold, the water's cold, the ice is cold. Everything about this experience is icy. And I never knew that before. And I've been drinking water like crazy all week and making ice in the freezer all week long because I was so excited that this is such a wonderful, cool, icy experience. And I had no idea.
Look at
I
that.
should have been using this for months. I'd be so hydrated. I'd be so overly hydrated if I would have just started using this from the beginning.
So all I needed to do to get you to drink more water was to tell you to get a corksicle with a steel straw.
Like I thought I would never ever use this, and I would just keep it and collect it, and then again,
and now look at you.
Maybe I should because it's the 70th, and
look at you drinking water all the time.
It's so cold. Like this metal straw is a game changer. Guess what?
Game changer.
Christmas. You're corksicle thing with a metal straw and an ice tray. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe when things are crazy in life, there's things that are simple that seem way better than they really are. But this is the best thing ever. Hey, this is the best thing.
It brings you
next
joy.
Next to the epic fireworks, this is like it. This is like the second highlight of the month, probably. Epic fireworks in this metal straw.
It brings you joy, and it's getting you to hydrate. So win-win.
So good. I love it. True joy.
There you go.
Pixie dust. Anyways, how about you? What's your pixie dust?
My pixie dust
me
is
drinking lots of water.
Well, so you drinking lots of water, which is a good thing. For me, it's the summer, or spring, summer, whatever, which means, Fran's weeds are now a focal point of her life because I swear they grow in like 2 days. I called a few.
You don't have to swear. They do.
They do, right? Like I called a few different weed companies again because I'm on the search again for someone to fix it. And this company, like the guy was so lovely to me. So the companies won't do private homes with this spray they use, but he told me what kind of spray they use to get rid of the weeds, and it's available at like Rona. So he just said to me, go buy this and just spray it. So I thought that was very nice of him. Like he could have taken money from me, but he didn't. He just told me to go buy the spray. So I found somebody on the TaskRabbit thing. He's going to come pull all my weeds later this week. And then I'm just going to douse it in this stuff from Rona and see if that works. So fingers crossed. I have hope.
Aww.
I have hope that this year maybe I'll get it under control.
Maybe this will be?
Maybe this is the year.
The weeds go bye-bye.
I hope so. But yes, that's what brought me joy. So if you've made it this far in the podcast and you're still listening to us, thank you. Please leave us a rating and review and recommend us to your friends, family, anyone that you know that might be thinking about a Disney or Orlando vacation and want some tips and reviews and just our thoughts on all things vacation and whatever. Well, till next time, thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.